Hello today from Two Way Sun. It is January 1st. Um, for the new year, I usually make a kind of world news roundup blog, sort of, even though it's nothing to do with news. It's more about the state of the world as I see it. Um, so what? What's going on in the world? You'd be surprised, not that much. Not that much. Um, the economy is kind of topsy-turvy. It's actually doing really well, which is hilarious because it's not because of the regulations or the Federal Reserve that it's doing very well. At least in the US, you can literally see graphs of the Federal Reserve trying to make it do badly, which is funny because it's clear that they don't really want it to do well. It's hilarious. Anyways, but what else? Globally, things have calmed down, in fact. I'm happy to hear Trump is at least saying he's going to get out of Syria and Afghanistan, to be honest. If only, anyone before him would have done it, his opponents wouldn't be so mad at him for taking credit for that, I guess. Anyway, the economy's not that bad. It's bad for people invested in huge corporations, and that's because too big to fail doesn't exist. That was gonna happen anyway. It's always gonna happen. Yeah. I wanted to be able to look at my old blogs. Oh, it's a vlog this year. Why is it a vlog this year? Because I am working with video now, so there is no reason not to. I wanted to look at my old blogs, but right now my internet is down, so I figured I'd take the time to do what I can without it. Life is comedy. I have a Kickstarter now. I have a Subscribe Star now. I'm going to start making political videos. Perhaps, yeah, we'll go from there. And, there are a lot of things I want to do, and one of Two Way Sun's members, one of Two Way Sun's partners passed this year, and it's been harsh. And there were things I was going to do with him, and I'm still going to do them. It's kind of even kicked me in the ass, like, what have you been waiting for? And scared the hell out of me. But that's sort of where we are right now. We got a little comic / cartoon going at some point, and it's nowhere, right? But honestly, we were in a much worse space 1 year ago and 2 years ago. It seems like everything is stable, and it's to the ire of all the people in command of the stability, I guess, because they don't want it this stable. They don't want it this stable. They want bigger economic blocks. They want everyone to think, well, we can't survive as individuals. I'm afraid that's not how it is. But anyway, and it's not working out that way, and it's because people don't see themselves as a homogenous culture. they wouldn't enjoy their lives that way. If someone couldn't make the choice between, say, old traditional American food and new American food, and then say Tex-Mex, and then maybe traditional Mexican food, and then traditional Chinese food and American Chinese food and Thai food, and if we couldn't make those distinctions, our lives would actually lose their diversity. And there's no real way, I think they thought that they could trick people. And they have tricked some people, but those people seem like they didn't grow up around culture, so they don't really know what they're losing. And yeah, so, yeah. It's not working. Even those people, when they see their options, worst case scenario, they kind of get mad that something exists beyond what they thought was the best. But once you know that, your world changes and now you believe in a new best, But most people, once diversity doesn't actually offend most people, and if it did, we'd live in a different world now. Usually people fear something they know contradicts them in some way. But it's not that they don't like it. We love opposites attract. This idea that human nature is somehow against difference is literally just an idea. And you can see it. You can see it in, just look at the West, and everyone's arguing about who's more socially liberal, whether it's socially liberal to accept mean words or socially liberal to not say mean words for people who we claim are sensitive to them and use them more than us. But that's the argument, who's more tolerant? And one person's like, you're communists, and the other one's like, you're Nazis. And basically, it's verbal mostly between us, and it's good. It's good to be verbal. Anyway, I mostly know about America, even though I haven't just been in America, and America actually has a grandiose effect on the world that you could not comprehend unless you've been to a place and you see that there's a culture, and then there's this technological kind of globalist kind of not overriding, but there's this patchwork that it's a part of. And you can see it doesn't come from their culture, that they know it doesn't, and they're interacting with other cultures and they know it. And America has the most guns and the biggest military and this giant economy, and we control a large part of the world. Our media is kind of the backbone of the world media. And we don't comprehend how much our values affect the values of others, usually as Americans. And that's actually why other cultures, other people, will sometimes resent our culture for being insular. It's not actually because we're extra insular, it's because they have to deal with us. So when we're insular, it's 3 or 4 times as annoying. That doesn't mean to the average American every other culture is important enough to learn some fucking deep part of it. It's not. But they have to deal with the culture in general. So there's some people in high towers that think, well, I'll force poor people through this so I don't have to learn, even though they're the people in charge of engaging with millions at once. Anyway, it's about to be 10 minutes. I'm gonna let you go. Thanks for dealing with me. This has been 2A Son. Have a good year. Keep breathing till tomorrow. Hello again. Stay tuned for my 2019 predictions. I won't be quite as depressing in that video. And I'm going to make a series about contentious topics and my explanations of them. And check out my GoFundMe. Check out my Subscribestar. I haven't really started doing that yet, but I'm going to decide what exactly I put on there and what you can subscribe to. Let me know. Thanks again. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next time. Keep breathing till tomorrow. That's what I would have said if I wasn't so drained. See ya.